Hi there, my name is Jim Henderson, and I'm the independent candidate for Secretary of the Commonwealth. This week, my opponent, Bill Galvin, has been conducting a push poll throughout the state. For those of you lucky enough not to have received this phone call, a push poll is designed to influence how you vote, rather than determine what your actual opinions are. In this push poll, Mr. Galvin asserts some matters regarding his tenure as Secretary. I'd like to discuss some of these matters with you. In 2002, roughly 49% of the eligible voters voted in our statewide election. 4 years later, in 2006, roughly 48% of the voters participated in that election. Hardly an increase in voter participation. But the real issue here is over half of our voters do not participate in our statewide elections at all. They're not voting for governor, they're not voting on ballot issues. They're not voting for Secretary of the Commonwealth. And this is the real issue we have to address. We also have to consider that Mr. Galvin, on his watch, has been charged with voting rights violations in various places around the state, meaning that other folks have been functionally disenfranchised during our election process. We need someone in the Secretary's office who will address these issues in particular. If you've ever been to the Secretary of the Commonwealth's website, transparent is not the word that comes to mind. Oh, you better know exactly what you look for when you go to the site, because the website itself will not lend you a hand. And yes, the Secretary's office does indeed handle Freedom of Information Act requests, but it often takes a long time to get these requests resolved, and sometimes it can cost the requester a fair amount of money. Transparency in this day and age means easy access to all who seek information. We need to employ the newest technologies to make sure that the information of government is truly available to everyone in the state. And we need someone in the office of Secretary who wants to make that happen. While this is certainly true, let's see how Mr. Galvin actually handles these tax credits and our historic treasures. One of the largest recipients of tax credits in the state in recent years have been the wind companies. At the same time, the wind companies and their affiliates have been one of the largest contributors to Mr. Galvin's campaign fund. Interesting coincidence, don't you think? And let's look at our state archives. In order to look at anything in our archives, you need to go down to a warehouse and look through a card catalog. A card catalog in 2010? Are you kidding me? We have great treasures available to us that go back throughout the state's history, but they're not available to us. If we want to honor our history, honor our past, the treasures we have need to be accessible to the people throughout the Commonwealth. And in terms of the tax credits, we need true transparency and a fair handling of them so that all people seeking to restore historic buildings around the state have a fair shot at getting these tax credits. If you get one of these push-pull phone calls, you'll be asked a bunch of questions. Take each of them with a grain of salt. Consider whether or not they are in fact true. But even more important than those questions, ask me what I'll do when I get elected to Secretary. Please check out my website at www.jim4soc.com. You can also call me at 508-802-5461 or email me at campaign@jim4soc.com. My name is Jim Henderson, the independent candidate for Secretary of the Commonwealth, and I'm looking for your vote on November 2nd of this year. Thanks so much.